Here's a breakdown of the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser Prado 250 and the 2024 Ford-Everest to help you decide which one might be a better fit for you. Off-road capability. Prado, legendary off-road prowess, known for durability and toughness. New platform improves approach and departure angles. Everest, capable off-roader, but not quite on the Prado's level. Focuses more on on-road comfort with off-road ability. Engine and performance. Prado, expected to have the same 2.8L turbo diesel engine as the current model, 150 kilowatts and 500 Newton meters, with potential for a hybrid option in some markets, not confirmed for North America. Everest offers a 2.0L bi-turbo diesel engine with more power, around 184 kilowatts, and torque, around 600 Newton meters. Technology and interior. Prado, expected to have a significant upgrade in technology features compared to the previous model. Details are still unknown. Everest generally has a more modern and feature-rich interior with the latest driver assistance and infotainment systems. Other factors. Reliability. Toyota Prados have a reputation for exceptional reliability. Ford-Everest reliability ratings are good, but not quite on par with Toyota. Fuel efficiency. The Prado's diesel engine might offer better fuel economy than the Everest's, but final figures aren't available yet. Price. The Prado typically costs slightly more than the Everest. Overall, if you prioritize off-road capability, legendary reliability, and are willing to wait for details on the new technology features, the Prado might be the better choice. If you prefer a more modern interior with the latest technology and a powerful engine, the Everest is a strong contender. Consider your needs and preferences to make the best decision for you. New 2024 Toyota Prado vs Ford-Everest, spec battle. How does Ford's reigning car of the year provisionally stack up against the hugely hyped 5th generation Toyota Prado? Let's go to the spec sheets and find out. It's been some 14 years, but finally the 5th generation Toyota Prado is heaving into view, and this time around it's got some stiff opposition to overcome to keep its place in the hearts and minds of large SUV-loving Aussies. Not due to land until next year, first impressions are positive, with a bold, sharp yet evocative design language striking the right chord with a brace of increasingly emboldened buyers. Based on the same ladder frame platform that underpins the hugely popular 300 series. Land Cruiser, the Prado will back up its boxy visage with proven diesel powertrain tech, mixed in with fuel-saving hybrid technology. But the new Prado has been a long time coming, and its rivals haven't been hanging about. Launched last year to great fanfare, Ford's put more than a little bit of effort into its new T6.2 Ranger/Everest pairing, which are now sold in more than 20 markets around the world. In fact, Wheels rated the Everest so highly that it took the coveted 2023 Car of the Year trophy back to Broadmeadows. Does the Prado have what it takes to not only hang on to its loyal army of current owners, but to knock the Everest off its perch as the pick of the 4x4 SUV circus troupe? Dimensions. At 4,914 mm long, up to 2,015 mm wide and 1,842 mm high depending on variant, and the Everest is 50 mm longer than the previous model, and a whisker shorter, wider, and lower than the new Prado. Measuring 4,925 mm long, 1,980 mm wide, and 1,870 mm tall, the new Prado is 100 mm longer, 95 mm wider and 20 mm taller than the outgoing car. When it comes to wheelbase measurements, the new Prado's TNGAF platform measures 2,850 mm between the wheels. It's the same as the current Land Cruiser L, 360 mm longer than its predecessor. The Everest is a lick longer at 2,900 mm long. It's a vital stat when it comes to interior room as well as on-road manners. Details like the boot space capacity of the new Prado have yet to be released, but it will need to compete with the Everest's 898-liter capacity with its third row of seats stowed in 259 when all three rows are in use. Chassis and towing. Given that it's being dubbed the Land Cruiser 250 in overseas markets, and that it's based upon the same chassis as the L300, the new Prado was always going to present with a formidable set of off-road chops. The Prado runs high-mount double wishbone front suspension and a 4-link rigid axle with lateral control arms at the rear. It will have a full-time all-wheel drive system with a low-range transfer case and a locking center differential, as well as an electronic locking rear differential and front sway bar disconnect system. Unlike the hydraulically actuated KDSS, the new system allows stabilizer bar disconnection on demand via a button in the cabin. This should make for excellent wheel articulation without sacrificing road holding. Electric power steering replaces the hydraulic system to increase steering feel, too. Compare this to the Everest, which also uses a separate ladder chassis to which the body is mounted. Independent front suspension features double wishbones and coil springs, while a live axle suspended on coils and a multi-link setup out back uses a Watts link to keep the rear axle in check. While it uses traction control linked to multiple driver modes in combination with its electromechanically operated diffs in its full-time 4x4 variant, the Everest eschews all other forms of electron-powered trickery in its suspension system. The Ambiente, Trend and Sport model Everests can be bought as 4x2 vehicles, while all are offered as 4x4. Towing capacity for the new Toyota Prado is yet to be confirmed, but US specs suggest that the Prado is likely to be offered with 3,500 kg brake towing capacity for the first time ever, jumping by 500 kg and matching the Everest's towing figure. It's a fair bet, however, that the new Prado will weigh a fair bit more than the current car, which comes in at a claimed 2,350 kg curb weight, giving it a 640 kg payload. Expect a similar payload figure. For the new car, despite an expected 150 to 200 kg jump in weight. The Everest was praised highly by our COTI judges for its towing technology, and its GCM of 6,250 kg across the entire range nets at a payload of 741 kg. Engines. For the 2024 Toyota Prado, mild hybrid assistance will be added to Toyota's familiar 150 kW per 500 Nm 2.8-liter 4-cylinder diesel motor. There's also a small electric motor mounted between the motor and new 8-speed gearbox, supplemented by a 48-volt battery and a stop/start system to net an estimated 10% fuel saving. The Everest, meanwhile, comes with the choice of a 154 kW per 500 Nm twin-turbo 2.0-liter 4-cylinder diesel engine or a 184 kW per 600 Nm V6 turbo diesel. The Ambient and Trend models come with the 4-cylinder bi-turbo diesel engine only, while the Sport is offered with a choice of either a 4-cylinder or the V6, and the Platinum only comes with the V6 diesel engine. Despite being several decades old in origin, the V6 gives the Everest a real point of difference over the Prado, which is unlikely to benefit from any other drivetrain in its model life. One spec that many prospective buyers will be awaiting is the fuel tank capacity of the new Toyota Prado. If, as is predicted, the Prado's full-size spare wheel moves from the tailgate to the underside of the rear bumper, it'll likely mean the end of the Prado's 63-liter subtank option, and the demise of its 150-liter fuel capacity. Interior and cabin design. Toyota has gone all in on the new Prado, presenting a sharp, rugged, and confident interior that's not overly dominated by a massive screen up front. Though the Prado will likely adopt a digital dash across the range, traditional analog controls still feature strongly, with more than a nod to the Land Cruiser's storied past in the bulky, squared-off steering wheel with its prominent typewritten badge. In fact, the explosion of buttons across the dash and center console is prolific by modern standards. Not only are all the climate controls easily accessible, drive modes can be accessed by both button and dial, while the overseas model pictured even sports an HDMI port along with a brace of USB-C outlets. The extra width of the new Prado is evident in the huge center bin and console layout, while a traditional gear selector is retained. The more classically styled Everest relies heavily on a massive vertical screen to provide access for many onboard systems, though it too has retained sufficient traditional dials to sate the traditionalists. Not so traditional is its rocker action gear actuator, which is very much a love it or hate it proposition. Given its previous spec and its positioning in the Toyota's SUV range, the Prado is likely to offer 7 seats as standard fitment, matching the layout of the Everest. Pricing. Prices for the 2024 Toyota Prado are yet to be confirmed, but it's likely that there will be an increase across the board given the expected rise in equipment levels and the addition of a hybridized powertrain. Currently, the Everest undercuts the Prado right across the range, even though the latter is an older vehicle at heart. When comparing like with like, the Ambiente 4WD costs $58,290 plus on-road costs, compared with the Prado GX at $62,830 plus ORC. A richer variant mix for the Everest offers buyers more options. In our view, the Sport variant provides a great mix of spec and value,